just to follow up on my colleague, the market is now interpreting the Fed's rate cut as perhaps a sign that the economy is weakening more quickly than even the Fed thought possible a couple months ago. So how is the White House monitoring that economic data and the possibility for a recession?
So look, as we've stated many times from here before, whether it's one of our economists who have come to the podium or myself, the stock market is not our economy. We got to be really mindful about that. What we believe is the economy is resilient. The data still shows unemployment is low at 4.2%. We have a strong economy. It continues to be strong. And I think what we're seeing is a moment of progress. As I've stated many times before, we're still continuing to see jobs, more than 140,000 jobs just last month. And so GDP grew 3% just last quarter. And so this is important. This is important when we look at all of the data together, that we are continuing to see a strong economy. The stock market is up more than 40% under this administration, but that is not our economy. And so we're continuing to see progress. We've come a long way since this president and this vice president walked into this administration. The economy was in a tailspin. And we've managed to turn that around. Now, as you hear us say all the time, is there more work to be done? Yes, there's more work to be done. We want to continue to lower costs for the American families and Americans across the country, and we're going to continue to do so. And you're going to hear from the president tomorrow directly.
And on Teamsters, I know you can't talk about the endorsement specifically, but the union also put out its internal polling that showed that there was a pretty wide margin of rank and file membership that supported former President Donald Trump. To what extent is that a referendum on the work of this administration?
Look, I'm not going to speak to their poll. I'm not going to speak to the rank and file. Look, it is. We're talking about a 2024, obviously, an election that is just a few weeks away. I can't speak to that. I can't speak to their decision to endorse, not endorse. I guess in this case, not endorse. What I can speak to is what this president and this vice president has done in the last 3.5 years. This president has been called the most pro-union president ever, and I think
Trump outpolled President Biden. When he was
I hear you. I mean, we're talking about.
How does that reflect on the administration's work?
We're talking about one union, right? We're talking about the Teamsters.
1.6 million people.
I hear you, but we're still talking about one union. And I'm not going to go into their data. I'm not going to go into their polling. But what I will say is many other labor unions have said, and they've been very clear about what this president has been able to do. Thinking about manufacturing jobs, you're thinking about building an economy that leaves nobody behind. You're thinking about what we've been able to do to make sure that we're bringing back American jobs here. Made in America, obviously, here. We created an office to do just that. And so the president has certainly not just done the talk, he's walked the walk. And I think there are many labor unions out there who have seen that from this administration. I'm not going to dive in or double down or get into a particular polling that's out there.